Today I'm going to show you how I connected my butterfly blocks to make a panel. A 2.5 inch wide strip, and it's 10.5 inches long, the same size as my block, and I'm going to attach those there. And on the next block, instead of attaching on the bottom, I'm going to attach it on the top. And here I've sewn on the bottom strip on this block and the top strip on this block, and when I measure to see how much did this strip add to my block from bottom to top or top to bottom, I'm at 11 3/4 of an inch. So that means that strip that I want in between here needs to be 11 3/4 inches long, and I'm going to do it by 2.5, just like this strip. And I'm going to take that strip and I'm going to attach it here first, and then I'm going to attach it to the next block. Now I've attached this strip to the right side of my block, and I pressed it. So there's a strip here and a strip here. And then there's an additional strip here, and I'm going to attach these together. Guys, I got to the last block and I was looking at this, and it just seemed like something was not right. So then, because I mean, look here, this one's wider than that. So I measured it, and apparently I cut some 2-inch strips instead of 2.5. And that is why you always need your handy dandy seam ripper nearby. So I'm going to have to unpick probably most of it and do it over. And that's one of the things, like, it's really not even that noticeable. But when I got to the end, I did notice quite a bit of difference. See, when I got here, it's like, uh-oh. So I'll probably just unpick everything and start over, because it's too big of a difference. If it was just a little bit, I'll think about it. After looking at my piece and comparing it to my first piece, I did replace this piece and this piece, but for the rest of it, I just left it alone. And it will fit. It'll be fine. So even if you make a mistake, as long as it's not too big, it won't matter in the end. But for that big of a gap, I felt more comfortable with replacing those two pieces that were really off. I compared my blue piece with my purple piece to make sure that they were close enough that it would all fit together, and I feel like they will be. You notice there is a little bit of difference here, but because these aren't going to be next to each other, there's going to be that other panel in between. It will work well enough, and I was able to make that correction, even though here is one of the smaller pieces that was unintentional. In the end of the overall design, it's not going to matter. And like my daughter says, you're going to be asleep under this quilt most of the time anyway, so you won't see it. When I decided on the layout of my butterflies, both times I put this one higher and then the next one lower on both of my sequences. I had thought about doing it the other way around, like having the blue one lower, the first one lower, and the next one higher, but I just felt like this would be the best way. I'm trying to picture it in my mind's eye. After I sewed together my butterfly sequence to make a panel, I decided it needed a border, and for this project I needed a 3-inch border all the way around.